Awesome. Well, hi, nice to meet you, Brandon. How are you? I'm
Hello.
Ariana.
Great to meet you too.
Okay, so with Boss Baby back in the crib, how did you come up with the premise of having Ted become a baby again?
Well, that was we knew that was going to be what the whole show hinged on, was
Mhm.
that question: how do we get him to be a baby again? Um, and we knew we had an adult businessman, big titan of industry somewhere in the Midwest, probably Chicago. Maybe we even committed to Chicago, but knowing that we had those pieces to play with, we said, well, what's going to force him to be a baby again? What if we get him in trouble with the law? And that was just, me and the writing team sitting together, brainstorming ideas. And when we came up with that one, we knew we had the winner.
Yeah, because he needs to wait for the statute of limitations to run out, which can be quite some time. Why did you guys decide to go with the angle that Baby Co and Tina and Ted being able to talk isn't a major secret with the main characters?
Uh, with you're talking about with the family, the rest
Yes,
of the
yes,
family.
yes.
Um, yeah, that was a choice we made. I mean, we knew that Tim, the dad in the family, already obviously knew, because he grew up with that and didn't go through that sort of baby forgetting process, according to the rules of this strange universe. So that really only left the mom. And so you from a storytelling standpoint, we realized that one of the things that was going to make this show feel different and fresh, from the previous show, which we all loved, was this fact that, well, what if they do know? What if mom and dad both know that this is what's going on with the babies? It introduces this whole different dynamic that you can play with. I love having Carol as a character. You'll see as the show develops that she's not 100% super cool with this arrangement. Both the fact that she's got a baby who can talk and is doing business and getting herself in danger, but then also that her brother-in-law, that she doesn't have the warmest relationship, is now pretending to be a baby in her house that she's kind of responsible for. So to be able to play with these family dynamics in a new way, was really, really exciting for us as writers and creators.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts about the show is Carol and Ted's very much realistic in-law relationship, even though he is a baby. How was that like to explore that they really don't like each other? They love each other, they don't like each other, and they're very clear about that.
That was yeah, I mean, that was, we knew that was just this deep well of storytelling and fun, of first of all, we had JP to play with. Obviously, we knew him and we loved him from the previous show. But then meeting Kritia Bajos, who plays Carol, and hearing what she could do, and her voice and her sense of comedy, um, we just knew that those two were going to be this really fun and engaging dynamic. And we take them to some really fun places later in the series run.
One of my favorite episodes, other than the imaginary friend episode, which is like a separate thing I bring up, is Ted's birthday. And that's a lot of Ted and Carol, but also it ends, unlike kind of the other episodes on the show, in kind of a sad way. Why did you decide to approach that episode and that ending that way?
That's a really good. I was wondering if you'd seen that one when you were talking about the
Oh, yeah,
Carol
I've
and
seen
Ted
all of them.
dynamic. Okay, because
Yes, yes.
I that episode just absolutely warms my heart. I don't want to give too much away of what the specifics of that ending are,
Mhm.
but that ending image was actually one that we'd been thinking about even from the beginning of this series. Of, well, how can we, given that relationship that we're talking about between Carol and Ted, and that friction, how can we maybe soften that a little bit, and not make everything perfect, but introduce a little bit of warmth there, and playing to that parent slash caregiver and baby relationship, was really the way into that.
Yeah, and it also explores that this time Ted Boss Baby remembers how it's like to be an adult and kind of has that longing sometimes to go back to this life that he built. So I thought it was interesting to play with that. Who would you say is your favorite new character on this show?
It varies from episode to episode and moment to moment. Obviously Tina is a huge part of the show, and really we treated her like a co-lead with Boss Baby. There's episodes where she's much more the focus than he is, and then some like that birthday episode where she's barely in it at all. So we loved, and especially again, it's after hearing what Mary Faber was doing with that part and hearing how good she is as an actor. We knew we had really a co-starring relationship here, and that we could give her full episodes to herself practically. But on any given episode, it may be her, it may be Carol, it may be Tim. Love Tim in the Go Fish episode. I love JJ, a part that we created just for the excuse to bring Alex Casares back because we love her so much. And then Karan Soni as Pip, in small doses in every episode, just constantly killing it with these gags. And then Zeke Alton as Dez the same way.
Yeah.
Really just love the whole new team.
Yeah. Especially because you have a new CEO, Nanny Cam No Filter, who I love her very long, exaggerated name. How was it like? What characteristics did you want Nanny Cam No Filter to have?
Well, we wrote that part before obviously it was cast, and so we didn't know that Nicole was going to be that role yet. So when we started, it was very like I'm trying to think of some of the touch points. It was this sort of tech billionaire, rethink everything, and just vibrant, like cult of personality baby of like, I'm your boss, but I'm your best friend, and I'm constantly excited about new things. And then it was our casting department who suggested Nicole for the role. And when she came in and took over the role, it just obviously took on a life of its own, because Nicole is so funny and so energetic, and just captured everything we wanted to do with that character.
For sure. The show pokes fun at itself a lot of the times. Like, one of my favorite parts is when Tina brings up, like, how do you guys even make money at Baby Co? Like, what is the revenue? And even Boss Baby making fun of having the title of a character and their name is just lazy writing. Why do you toss that in, and how do you balance that out with it not just being too meta and too on the nose?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the question of how does Baby Corp make money was beyond just the sort of meta comedy of it. We felt like that was a legitimate question of like, what is this show and what are its rules? And so we wanted to play with that. But then, every once in a while, things like the shouldn't use the characteristic as a character's name, that's just lazy writing, whatever the line was. That's just us having a little fun, and you just kind of gauge on your own internal scale of whether it's pushing too far and like, well, we're breaking the fourth wall too much here, or nah, it's fun.
Yeah. Because it's obviously a kid's show, but I kind of feel like it's a family show that anyone at any age could watch it with family or on their own. How do you go about that in the writing and the directing of the show?
Honestly, it's just us. It's just what we like. We Matt Engstrom, my partner in this show, in the previous show, when we're looking for people to hire in every department, we're looking for people who love this stuff, looking for people who just have it in their bones that they love animation, that they love writing for a family audience, or drawing storyboards, whatever it may be. So really it just comes out of this genuine place. There's no conscious decision of how do we make this appeal more to kids, or how do we make this appeal more to adults. It's just what's genuine and heartfelt and funny to us and to hopefully everybody else.
The center of the like one of the main storylines is the whole idea of the five percenters and also the uncuddleables. Why did you guys decide to have that be kind of the main thing that they're working on this season?
Well, Uncuddleables, because it felt like a fresh, sort of rivalry that had a little bit more. I don't know if maybe hurt makes it sound too dramatic, but there's some hurt to it,
Yeah.
like these characters, the Uncuddleables, for anybody watching who doesn't know, are these teenage characters who are no longer cute. They're in adolescence, which is the most awkward phase of life. And so to see, babies sucking up all the attention and love, you understand why they're a little upset by this. And so that was really intriguing to us of having these sort of villain characters who are coming from a pretty legitimate place. And then the
Yeah.
five percenters was just a way of getting to that, of really highlighting what Baby Corp might be doing to exacerbate that.
Yeah. What I noticed about your show that's different than some kids animations and kids shows is that you don't split the show in half. Each episode is one story and it's also a serialized series. Why did you go with that approach?
No better reason than that just seemed fun. When I was starting the original Boss Baby series, the Back in Business series, that was one of the appeals, was that serialized storytelling of, it was new to me. I'm not saying it was groundbreaking, in the world of animation, but I hadn't personally done it before. And so that was exciting to me. I like challenging myself as a writer, and that was one way of doing it. And then we loved that format and followed through with it in the new series.
Yeah, what I like about it is that it doesn't underestimate children's minds to remember things because they probably remember more than adults and are picking up on the things that are on each episode. So I read that you have kids and you also have siblings. Has that experience of being a sibling and also having kids influenced your writing and your approach to the show?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. There's often in little ways. It's rare that a whole episode is drawn from life. Though there is one this season. You said you'd seen them all. So the War of the Cheeks, the Go Fish
Oh,
episode. That's game night in the Sawyer household. Very much so. But usually it just comes out in little ways, and it's not just me too. It's everybody working on the show has their own experiences, and they're bringing these little bits of life that just give the show hopefully this core and reality that makes it appealing.
you had Kid Tim in the last season, and now you have an adult Tim. How was it like to explore what Tim would be like as an adult?
It was so much fun to work with him, because he trying to figure out how much has he changed, because he has responsibilities now, and how much of that sort of innocence and joy has he retained, because he was always such an exuberant character and so pure and joyous as a kid. And Max Middleman, who plays Tim in our show, adult Tim, really just brought that sense of fun. you know I loved him as a dad. He's so fun to watch.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and thanks for taking the time to talk to me. And I'm looking forward to upcoming seasons.
Thank you.
Have a
Good
good
talking to you.
have a good